Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a trip down memory lane, but it's a bittersweet one. We're going to talk about a place that was pure magic for so many of us. Toys R Us. Remember that feeling? Walking through those doors, seeing aisles stacked high with every toy imaginable. The colorful logo, Jeffrey the giraffe, the jingle. It was more than just a store. It was a core part of childhood for generations. You'd spend hours circling the things you wanted, dreaming of birthdays and holidays. It felt like a kingdom of fun that would last forever. But then one day, it was gone. The bright, bustling stores went dark. The signs came down. How could a giant, a cultural icon that dominated the toy industry for decades just vanish? It wasn't as simple as kids not playing with toys anymore. The story of its downfall is a dramatic saga of debt, corporate takeovers, and questionable business decisions. It's a tale that reveals a lot about the harsh realities of modern finance and how even the most beloved brands can be brought to their knees. The beginning of the end can be traced back to 2005. At this point, Toys R Us was a publicly traded company, but it was facing some serious challenges. Big box retailers like Walmart and Target were aggressively moving into the toy market, using toys as loss leaders, selling them at very low prices, sometimes even at a loss, just to get customers in the door to buy other, more profitable items. This price war was brutal. Toys R Us, being a specialty retailer, couldn't compete on that level. Their entire business model was built on toys. On top of that, the rise of e-commerce, led by a then-emerging giant named Amazon, was completely changing how people shopped. The convenience of buying online was a threat that Toys R Us was slow to recognize and adapt to. Their own website was clunky, and they even outsourced their online sales to Amazon for a time, a move that many now see as a colossal strategic blunder. They essentially handed their online customer base to their biggest future competitor. So the company was struggling. Its stock price was falling, and it was looking for a way out. That's when three private equity firms came knocking: KKR, Bain Capital, and Vornado Realty Trust. They saw an opportunity. In 2005, they joined forces to buy Toys R Us in what's called a leveraged buyout. They paid about $6.6 billion to take the company private. Now, what is a leveraged buyout? It's a key part of this story. Essentially, the private equity firms didn't use all their own money to buy the company. Instead, they put up a relatively small amount of their own capital and borrowed the rest, billions of dollars. And here's the crucial twist. That massive debt wasn't put on the books of KKR, Bain, or Vornado. It was loaded directly onto Toys R Us itself. Imagine buying a house with a huge mortgage, but instead of you being responsible for the payments, the house itself somehow has to generate the money to pay off the loan. That's what happened to Toys R Us. Overnight, the company was saddled with over $5 billion in debt. From that moment on, its primary mission was no longer just selling toys and creating magical experiences for kids. Its main purpose became servicing that enormous debt. Hundreds of millions of dollars each year, money that could have been used to innovate, to remodel stores, to build a world-class e-commerce platform, to lower prices, or to pay employees better, was instead funneled into interest payments to banks. The company was in a financial straitjacket, put there by its new owners. The private equity firm's goal was never to run Toys R Us for the long term. The typical private equity playbook is to buy a company, streamline it, cut costs, and then sell it off or take it public again within a few years for a handsome profit. They expected to be able to do this with Toys R Us, but the 2008 financial crisis hit, making it impossible to take the company public again as planned. So they were stuck, and Toys R Us remained shackled by that debt year after year. While the company was struggling to breathe under this financial burden, the world kept changing. Amazon grew into an unstoppable force. Kids' entertainment habits shifted with more focus on video games and digital experiences. But Toys R Us had no money to adapt. The stores started to look old and tired. The shelves were sometimes disorganized. The magical experience began to fade. It was a slow, painful decline, not because of a lack of love from customers, but because the company was financially starved from the inside out. The private equity owners did extract value in other ways. They charged Toys R Us hefty management and consulting fees, totaling hundreds of millions of dollars over the years. They also made money through complex real estate transactions involving the company's properties. So while Toys R Us was slowly bleeding out, its owners were still finding ways to profit. By 2017, the situation was untenable. The debt was overwhelming, sales were plummeting. The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, hoping to restructure and find a path forward. The plan was to close some underperforming stores and renegotiate its debt. There was a glimmer of hope that the brand could still be saved. But the holiday season of 2017 was a disaster. Sales were far worse than expected, and the company couldn't secure the financing it needed to stay afloat. In March 2018, the devastating news broke. Toys R Us would be liquidating all of its U.S. stores. It was the end of an era. Over 30,000 employees lost their jobs, many without the severance pay they were promised. It was a tragic end for the loyal workforce that had been the face of the company for decades. The private equity firms, meanwhile, walked away. While their initial investment didn't yield the massive profit they had hoped for, their losses were limited, and they had already made hundreds of millions in fees over the years. The ones who paid the ultimate price were the employees, and of course, the generations of kids who would never get to experience the wonder of a Toys R Us store. The story is a powerful and cautionary tale about the dark side of high finance. It shows how the pursuit of short-term profit through financial engineering can destroy a beloved, culturally significant company. Toys R Us wasn't just a business, it was a childhood institution. Its death wasn't just a market correction. Many argue it was a killing, executed by the very people who were supposed to be its saviors. What do you guys think? Do you have a favorite memory of Toys R Us? Let me know in the comments below. It's a sad story, but one worth telling and understanding. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the brands we know and love. See you next time.